Hey,
Oh, hey.
hey,
Hey, Connor.
hey, Kylen.
Do you want to do you want to talk
I,
about it?
I think I want to talk about it.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck, let's talk about it. Hello, and welcome back to Let's Talk About It, your Dollar General version of the famous podcast All Work No Play, or G Club, or Saturday Morning D&D show, or literally any other podcast with two fucking nerds, except
You
with a
really
lot.
have to play us like that. We have our own charm.
Yeah, we have a lot of alcohol. That's our
Yeah,
charm.
we have alcohol. So that's where all the charisma comes from, baby.
Exactly.
From this white Zinfandel.
Or from my coffee, because today is International Coffee Day, or National Coffee Day. I'm not sure. Death Wish Coffee was tweeting a lot about it today.
Oh, cheers. I'll drink to that.
Ooh, yeah, bitch.
So, Connor, what the fuck are we talking about today?
So I actually do have a topic for today. We might get to it eventually. That topic is going to be playing characters in video games and the role playing that you can get from video games. But before we eventually get to that, we're probably going to talk a little bit too much about shit that happened within the past couple of weeks.
Oh,
And
Jesus, yeah.
because there's been a lot that's happened within the past 2 weeks.
And by, a lot that happened, we don't mean our personal lives, which could be the case. We mean our fake lives in which we pretend to be people.
Right. But I want to start that conversation off with just a look back at our last episode, and maybe there will be a cool little effect that I'll eventually learn how to put into this. No, there won't. I'm hoping that using a different software means that I don't actually have to go back and edit this.
Oh, I bet the screen's all glittery right now.
Shit, you're going to make me put that in there.
Yeah, glittery woo.
Hashtag glittery woo woo. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But make sure that comment is glittery woo woo.
Would you like to see more glittery woo woo? Let's talk about it.
Let's not talk about that. But I want to look back at our last episode of Let's Talk About It, where we drunkenly ended the episode by issuing little challenges to each other, which is another thing that we sort of adopted from the famous All Work No Play podcast.
I swear to God, we're not ripping them off.
No, we're just taking all the things that we love and remixing them into something that's completely our own. And that is
Why don't we take all the things we love and put them over here?
Right. Which, in D&D, in life, and everything, that's totally valid. You should do that because everything that you love is a part of you, and you deserve to showcase that.
Shit, bitch.
That's a coffee talking. That's not me.
Damn,
it's coffee with a little TM.
Getting philosophical coffee.
Thank you, Death Wish and Bailey's and Pinnacle Vodka and Kahlua for dropping this philosophy on us.
Okay, go off then. I have to be tame tonight because I have things to do tomorrow because it's TSB's birthday.
It is going to be TSB's birthday. I also have some stuff to do, which includes running a game that sort of ties into one of our challenges.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, let's talk about our challenges.
So one of those challenges was Mine to You. You have a feeling about warlocks.
Yeah, warlocks aren't my favorite.
5th edition warlocks for anyone just tuning in. We're 5th edition D&D nerds.
Yeah, so we're only speaking from the perspective of 5th edition. Warlocks, not my favorite class. I feel like they don't have enough spell slots, but they also don't have enough anything to really do anything else. So you end up just spamming Eldritch Blast, which after a while it gets kind of monotonous.
Yes.
So probably mechanically, warlocks are my least favorite, which is unfortunate because I think their story potential is really cool.
I love them from a story perspective.
Right, you get some of the best, interactions whenever you get a patron. So,
which I was able to drop on my Monday night group this week, but with something that was other than a warlock. But you and I and a couple of other dear friends, both near and far from us, everyone who has made my channel, my Twitch channel, what it is today, play in a little 5th edition D&D game where you are actually playing a warlock.
I am. Yeah, which is the second warlock I have played under your DM ship. I played a warlock for you in Curse of Strahd.
You did play a warlock in Curse of Strahd. Let's talk about that warlock and how this one is different, and maybe how my actual challenge to you ties into this. Because my challenge to you was try to enjoy playing a warlock.
So I played a warlock in Connor's Curse of Strahd game, which it was pretty fun, but I don't think I built that character in a way where I can maximize the enjoyment. I think I picked up too many damaging spells and not enough utility spells.
So, and what was that character?
Huh?
And what was that character?
Oh, I was playing...
For our lovely talkers, couchmates.
I was playing Lenore, who was a drow warlock of the Raven Queen, which is a Unearthed Arcana warlock subclass that they never got around to publishing.
Right.
Sad, but whatever. And there were some cool features about that subclass. Mainly, you basically got a spectral raven familiar. So mine was named Poe.
Poe with his lost Lenore.
Yes, Poe and Lenore. And there were some cool features about that because, you basically had a familiar at all times, and you got a feature later on where you can meld with your raven familiar, and you would become one. So I could fly around as a raven and do things. So that was kind of neat. But I played a Pact of the Tome warlock, and
which that sort of made sense because you were already getting most of the benefits of Pact of the Chain.
Yeah, you kind of did with the Raven Queen warlock. So it made sense, but I just in combat, it was just oh man, I have all these cool spells, but I can only use 2 of them,
right.
which for me is kind of lame because I like playing spellcasters, and I like having a lot of spell slots and having a lot of spells to access, so I can do whatever any time. I don't like being limited. Right. As you guys know, I'm a bard player by nature, so I love being able to do buffs, debuffs, attacks, whatever the situation calls for. Warlocks, you essentially shoot your load too early and oh shit, you're fucked. Now you're just spamming Eldritch Blast. So, I had fun in that Curse of Strahd game, but there were several times where I was like, oh, God, I wish I could be doing something else besides shooting cantrips. So, that's all said and done. We finished that game. It was a lovely time.
Right. So we finished the game. I won't say too many spoilers there, but Lenore has been retired. She's off doing stuff for the Raven Queen and everything. That world may or may not be destroyed, but we're just going to brush that aside. These characters will still exist in my Marvel Extended Universe.
My Connor Extended Universe.
Right. But we're not playing in that world anymore right now. We are playing in Tal'Dorei. playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
Yes,
But
Connor.
Amon Crown Heist.
Summer in Amon. Yeah, Connor has so creatively reskinned Waterdeep Dragon Heist to fit a Taldore setting.
Right, and I'm working on conversion notes for that. That's essentially been my session prep. It's like writing what I do to swap this world over from Iman, eventually to be released as something. I don't think I'll be able to put it on DM skill because like it's not technically D&D stuff that I'm using, even though I am. Maybe it's just like maybe if subscribers to my Twitch channel join a Discord, I'll put it in a little channel there so that people can download it and use that however they want.
Yeah, check out the Discord.
Check out our Discord because that's pretty much where we've been running this game. It's been great. But let's talk about your Warlock character there. How have you felt after our first session?
Yeah, so I've actually had this character concept in my head for a long time. Like, not so much the race and the class, but the story of the character, which I won't spoil because I'm pretty sure all of my other party members listen to this podcast.
Right.
Hopefully.
Right.
So, but I've had the character in my head for a while. And I know I've been wanting to do some sort of like elven race and some sort of class. I originally thought maybe druid or ranger, but I found out about Eladrins and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I love being a moody bitch with aesthetic changes. So this is perfect. And then I was like, you know what? I love the Fae. Like, I love Fae creatures. I love the Fae wild. That's probably like my favorite set of creatures and my favorite plane, just because I love that chaotic, mischievous energy that goes with it. So let me try a Pact of the Fae, or the Archfey Warlock, and let me try Pact of the Blade. So we haven't gotten to the point yet where I can actually manifest the blade, because we're still level 1. But
actually, we just leveled up to 2.
Oh yeah, we did level up to level 2.
Yeah, so I leveled them up a little bit earlier than what the module says because like we went through a 5-hour game, and at the behest of the players, I thought it would be good to like level them up before they go into this dungeon that I have certainly prepped.
We only asked. Okay, he's making it sound like that we like tied him down and did like some Chinese water drop torture on him. We were just like, "Hey, can we level up?" And he was like, "Sure."
Yeah. Well, like that's a DM that I am. I want to do what my players want.
The DC
I want to be a very yes and DM.
The DC for Connor persuasion checks is not that high.
Yeah, if you just ask me to do something, I'm probably going to say yes, unless it's like fuck over your party members because it's a cooperative game.
Right. So yeah, so now we're level 2, but all that to say that I haven't had the ability to manifest the blade yet, but I think I've built my warlock in a way that is smarter and I think more enjoyable. So my only damaging spell so far is Eldritch Blast. My other cantrip is Minor Illusion, and my 2 regular spells are Fairy Fire and Charm Person, which I both love. Both of those spells I love personally. I've used them before on a bard character that I have, and I think they're really fun and great spells. So it's already playing into like spells I like more, things I like to do more in combat, which is basic in and out of combat, which is basically fucking with people. So, and plus I've also decided to do the interesting challenge of, okay, let me make myself a character who her dump stat is wisdom, so
that's always fun.
Also thinks that she has more strength and constitution than she has. So she's an Eladrin who's almost permanently in summer form, which if you're familiar with Eladrin lore, they kind of have different moods depending whatever like mindset they're in.
That's what season they are.
Yeah, it denotes what season they are. And summer for Eladrins is basically just hot-headed passion, act first, think later type thing. She briefly switched in the fall, but other than that, she's been mostly summer. So she's just like, yeah, let's go, let's fight, let's attack. And she has like 10 hit points. So it's going to be interesting whenever she's like, gets to summon her blade and goes into melee. She doesn't really have the skills to back that up, but she doesn't have the wisdom to tell her, no, this isn't a good idea. She's going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's me fucking myself over, which I love.
It's so great.
I'm a masochist when it comes to D&D. I just want to fuck myself over.
But then you have a DM that's probably not going to.
Connor, I want you to hurt me. I'm sorry, you were drinking. I shouldn't have said that.
And you only ended up hurting me. All right, so how did you feel about your first session with that character?
I liked it. It was good. It was fun.
Okay.
It was funny. So one of the characters in our game, Ginger Benji, he's playing a monk.
Love you, man.
Yeah, we love you, Manny. We know you're watching. He's playing a character that has really high wisdom, and my character has really low wisdom. But somehow I'm still able to convince him to do dumb shit. Hey, we should break into this complex by ourselves. We should do it. And he's like, yeah, we should.
Y'all did it.
But we didn't get to succeed with that. We did end up like going with the party, but
yeah, because y'all couldn't open a door.
Yeah, true. But it was fun to get to temporarily split the party, and I think we have a fun party dynamic. It's interesting. So I'm excited to play that game
tomorrow. Is it still tomorrow for you? No, it's today for you.
Oh my God, is it?
It is now past midnight for you, and it is also Silent Band's birthday.
Oh my
Yay!
God! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Please let him be asleep this time.
No, I think he's still awake. Maybe I'm not.
Damn it, Silent Band!
Go to bed.
Go to bed. We have to be on brand for this.
Regardless of what time you're listening to this, stop what you're doing and go to bed. I don't care if it's the middle of the afternoon. Go to bed.
Just go to bed.
You're probably tired anyway. But yeah,
that goes to all of you. If you are very tired right now and you can afford to go to bed, please go to bed. Because I'm looking at myself right now and I have bags under my eyes and it is fucking terrible.
The bags under your eyes are designer. Those are Gucci, baby. So challenge 1, my challenge, I think, succeeded. Check. And
we will see how that challenge progresses. Maybe we'll come up with another challenge by the end of the night.
Ooh, yeah. Who challenged me?
I'm doing the little Dr. Evil pinky at the side of my mouth thing right now. I forgot this is the audio only podcast.
Thank God it's not audio only.
Yeah, we both look like shit right now.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, I look like shit right now. I've already described my eye bags in detail. They are puffy, they are red.
So yeah, that's my challenge. Now, Connor, your challenge, if I remember correctly, last time we spoke, you said that you had not really played a gnome or a
I have not played a gnome or a halfling.
Which those are 2 of my favorite races.
Right.
Gnome especially is my favorite race. Halfling is a new favorite of mine.
Right. So both of those races are not ones that I typically go for because a lot of the times I'm looking for darker characters. If y'all have not been watching my game with Indoor_Adventurer on twitch.tv/_Indoor_Adventurer. Sorry, I am drunk. Uh, that's the name of this podcast. Not
Sorry,
really.
I'm drunk.
Sorry, I'm drunk.
Fuck, we need to rebrand.
Rebrand. Let's not talk about it. Let's just get drunk. I've definitely gone pretty dark with that character. Isabel has not gone dark. That's been your stuff. I think my next character for Dragon Knights will try to be darker.
Isabel is good and perfect.
Isabel is good and perfect, and I designed her that way.
He is the light.
Other characters that I've played have definitely gone very dark, and I try to put on a few narrative hooks for them that lead to some complicated choices in addition to whatever story the DM tries to tell. Just because I like making those personal decisions, and I like seeing how the party reacts to the choices that my character has to make.
Yeah.
So like the last, if spoilers for if you have not watched Indoor Adventures game, I am having so much fun during it. I hope that everyone else watching is too. By the reactions in Twitch chat, I think that they are.
Spoiler, I'm having a good time.
My character, Blake, who is a dragonborn blood hunter.
Why was that so drawn out? You were like, Dragonborn.
Because there are many, many things about Blake that have not come up in the story yet that I don't want to spoil, specifically you with.
Oh, okay. Word. Wig.
Wig. Blake was born in the Court of Tiamat, which is I mentioned earlier to you, probably not on this podcast, that he was a foil to Rogar.
Yeah.
Rogar, who got fucked over by a paladin of Bahamut, and was like raised to like be self-acceptant. Rogar knows nothing about his past, but got a pretty deep lore dump today whenever a black dragon in league with, or black dragon spirit in league with Tiamat.
You're talking about Blake. You said
Yes.
Rogar.
Yeah, sorry. Blake, I had a very deep conversation with his new patron, his blood hunter Order of the Profane Soul patron, a black dragon in league with Tiamat.
Dad?
Yeah, my second character with a dragon pacted the dad, which I didn't really plan on, but I mean, it's on brand.
You
sort
are
of.
my dad. You're my
dad. Boogie, woogie, woogie. And yeah, Blake is so like self-conscious and not confident or really dark at all. The fact that he is having to deal with this connection, this otherworldly being, and by extension, this dark goddess is a really interesting thread that I want to pull at with this character. Whereas I'm hoping, especially with like his son and well, I guess our son and the relationship with Bahamut and stuff, Rogar's probably going to turn good. Blake is already good. Will he turn evil, or will he turn that into something good? I don't know. But I like going dark with most of my characters, but that doesn't lend itself to halflings. That doesn't lend itself to gnomes.
Yeah, no.
So whenever I finally... So our wonderful friend and a guest star on our Pro Restarter Dragon Knights campaign, Katie Faze, who I had the wonderful pleasure to play with on Anaris's channel during our Fun Shots games.
Oh.
And actually, I can't remember if I played with Katie during my couple of sessions on Off the Table or not. But Katie Faze does wonderful work with Off the Table, and you should definitely check out that channel.
Oh, she's so great.
They're so great. Summer and Katie do a wonderful job there. Dingo as
Yeah.
well. Like
Yeah.
everybody there is so positive, so accepting. They graciously had me on for a few sessions with them during their season 2, I think. I don't know. But wonderful, wonderful people.
Good people. Signal Boost. Go check them out.
So Katie realized that Kylen wouldn't have a game to play with last Saturday whenever our Dragon Knights game got moved for personal stuff, which everyone, please take care of yourself. Don't run games if you don't have the mental capacity to. Please take care of yourself. Put on your air mask, your plain oxygen mask before trying to help your neighbor out, because not because you're being mean, but because you need to be in physical shape before you help anyone else.
Yeah, listen to Flight Attendant Connor.
Listen to Flight Attendant Connor.
Honest to God, we love role-playing games. They're so much fun, but it can be exhausting just because it's a long period of time, and depending on what the session looks like, it can be very emotional, very intense, very high stakes. And if you're doing a bunch of those back to back, it can be draining. So
it can be really emotionally draining, but also very emotionally fulfilling. But you need to please make sure that you are taking care of yourself mentally and physically. I'm kind of being hypocritical because I don't take care of myself physically or mentally, but
take care of yourself.
Do as I say, not as I do.
We love you, babies.
But Katie Faith, wonderful, wonderful darling, national treasure, must be protected. Decide to run an impromptu game with us, where you were able to bring back a character that you were playing in my Princess of the Apocalypse game that is now defunct. People from other corners of the internet who were in that game, sorry guys, I didn't have the mental capacity to run it anymore. I was not having fun running it. It was nothing but dungeons, and I don't enjoy running dungeons or prepping dungeons or doing anything with dungeons. I'm only here for the dragons.
Well, it was an experiment.
Yeah, so that was like my West Marches style game, which if you wanted to run a West Marches style game and didn't want to like prep your own stuff, not Out of the Abyss, Princess of the Apocalypse is a great game to run that for, because it's nothing but dungeons. You can get your players in, take them back out, and have nothing. You can always like start an intersession without much overlapping content or conflict interrupting your play sessions. So if you want to run a West Marches style game and don't know how to do that, try running Princess of the Apocalypse, because that's really cool. But you were able to bring back a character from that, Brynhild, right?
Yeah, Brynhild, my dwarven Gloomstalker ranger who, Jesus Christ, Gloomstalker rangers are absolutely crazy in the right environment, and that environment being dark.
Meanwhile, I pulled up a light cleric.
Yay!
I brought up Luna Schnee, the rock gnome light cleric of the Huntsman.
You played a gnome!
Okay, so I played a gnome. I felt like I was cheating because I didn't really lean into that aspect of them. Luna was non-binary. I don't know if that came across, but yeah, they use they them pronouns. Second time I've done that, but yeah, I've only run 2 female characters, but yeah. So Luna was a cleric of light, and I was taking this as an opportunity to get back on my bullshit and run a character that was very lycanthrope centric. I definitely had a lot of inspiration from the Song of the Lorelei Critical Role session. I cannot remember this character's name. But TJ Storm was playing a moon cleric.
Yes. Oh fuck. What was his character's name?
I literally do not remember. It wasn't Lawrence. It wasn't Aura.
Alcohol. Sorry, guys. You can
Like, comment, and subscribe.
and then let us know how dumb shits we are. And it was like, oh, obviously it was.
I mean,
Bob.
we're definitely being dumb shits because it's been like 45 minutes and we've only gotten halfway through our challenges.
It's okay.
I really don't know how long this is going on because we're trying different software to capture this.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is a lot more stable than our last one.
Yeah, no more Discord catastrophes, knock on wood.
Shit, every bit of wood around me is fake.
I just knocked on some Walmart wood, hopefully, that has like at least a few specks of real wood in it.
I'm very superstitious when it comes to knocking on wood, but Luna Shni was really fun to play. It was very fun to play a light cleric. It was very fun to have that yin-yang relationship with your character.
Yeah.
Again, because Rogar and Tyrell definitely have that relationship.
Isabel and Zephyr.
Isabel and Zephyr definitely have that relationship. You know, we really do play a lot of yin-yang characters.
You could probably make some sort of stretch and say that Ellie and Skjor have some sort of
Ellie and Skjor definitely have that relationship because Skjor is very brooding and tanky, whereas Ellie is very childlike and happy.
Yeah.
Skjor just wants to get drunk and tear shit up.
So Connor and I inadvertently end up playing each other's foils because I don't know. And it's not even he always falls into dark and I always fall into light. We mix and match, play around. So
shit, what's her name? Your Dagny and Ayala.
Yeah.
No, I think they were playing the same team. Never mind. Because they were both very down to business characters.
Yeah. Dagny was a little broody.
Dagny was a little broody. Ayala was very tactician-y. I don't think I really gave her a lot more stuff from then. Oh shit, I've played 3 female characters. Never mind. So I played a rock gnome, but
Yes,
I didn't really lean into that aspect of Luna.
Yeah, you just really leaned into your patron.
Right, my patron, the huntsman, who was... Yeah, well, I said this during the stream. The huntsman was Silent Band's character from our Curse of Strahd game. His name was Quincy Carrington.
Oh, Quincy.
And Quincy was a monster hunter. We swapped from fighter to ranger because it was fighter whenever the Unearthed Arcana was around. But Wizards of the Coast decided to swap that over to a ranger subclass instead of a fighter one.
Which makes sense.
Which does make sense. It makes sense for that, especially with the like favorite enemy and stuff. And the fact that ranger kind of needed a few really good subclasses because Beastmaster is less than ideal.
Ranger was suffering until Gloomstalker came out.
I feel like every ranger subclass is good except for Beastmaster.
Probably.
If you want to run Beastmaster, ask your DM to give you a pet. That's it. That's all you need to do.
And there you go.
There you go. But obviously that doesn't work with like Adventures League and stuff. Or just use the Unearthed Arcana stuff and use that as your subclass. But my patron was Quincy Carrington, who was a monster hunter, barbarian, werewolf, because he got infected whenever y'all visited the werewolf den.
Yeah.
And after y'all finished the module and went back home, he sort of became a
He didn't go home. He stayed.
He stayed. He stayed in Barovia, and eventually started to rule his own dread domain. A dread domain separate from Barovia.
Mm-hmm.
And he still was a semi-follower of the Moonweaver, Seanine, or Selune. I think it was Seanine, actually. I don't know. Whatever the Dawn War version of the Moon Goddess is. But the Moonweaver in Tal'Dorei. And he stayed in that demiplane and like trained monster hunters and stuff, but he was still like a werewolf. And became this like dreadlord demigod thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided like, hey, it's not gonna be cool if I like come in here and like start shouting out the names of like actual D&D gods and goddesses. Let me start calling out some of the content that I sort of had a hand in creating. And I was invoking the name of the Huntsman this entire time. And let me tell you, the Huntsman, shit patron.
Which very much matches up with Quincy.
Oh yeah, Quincy was a fuck.
Truly, TSB, if you're listening, Quincy was a fuck.
Which like, Quincy was the one that Strahd took the most interest in because Strahd knew that he could corrupt him.
Truly.
And to a point he did.
Yeah.
Quincy came into a world where he knew he had no consequences. He can take out all of his anger for his dead wife and drive away everyone who ever loved him and just tear this world apart in the name of killing monsters. And whenever he stayed, he just wanted to keep doing that. Whenever he did his own domain, he wanted to keep doing that. And that's cool and everything. The people that he followed, probably doing the same, but becoming a dread lord has consequences. Strahd rules over a domain that never changes, and he keeps going after the woman that he believes he owns. He owns her soul. SMH. There's actually a canon werewolf dread lord who can't really showcase his power or ferocity, because anytime that he's in a fit of passion, he is reverted to his human form. I don't know his name because I haven't really run stuff in Ravenloft besides Curse of Strahd.
His name is Jacob.
I think it starts with an A, but I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, you said his name was Jacob.
Yeah.
Fucking Twilight shit. I really can't say that because I love Twilight. I read the books way too many times. I bet you loved
Jacob, didn't you?
I really did love Jacob. He was sassy AF. I'm kind of tempted to like cut this out, but no.
Let the world know.
Let the world know.
I mean, honestly, the people who listen are not going to be surprised. Like, they're not going to be like...
Travis Willingham also liked Jacob, so fuck y'all.
They're not going to be like, oh, Connor, a.k.a. Cybrwulf1201.
Cybrwulf? What?
Cybrwulf? Resonates with the werewolf games? What the fuck?
But yeah, Quincy became a shit demigod, and this new rock gnome of my creation, who I definitely do want to revisit. I think that they were a very interesting character, and I think I would like to revisit them whenever the Moon domain becomes something. I know Mike Merles was playing around with the version of Mike one Merles, for his home game.
Mike Merles, please.
Mike Merles, please. Give us a light cleric that actually has access to Moonbeam, because that shit, that's not cool.
Stupid.
So we both, and I actually really enjoyed that character. I didn't really lean into a lot of the rock gnome stuff or any of the gnome stuff.
It's okay. You were just memeing.
I was just memeing. I was
It
just
was a
getting
one
back
shot.
on my bullshit.
But did you like the bit of the gnominess that you had?
I really didn't play into any of it. I never played into the stats. I never played into the like tinkery aspects of it. I think it's something that I will need to revisit.
Yeah, you gotta retry.
For me to feel super accomplished on this. But I did play a gnome. And I did enjoy this character.
Okay, so like challenge half complete.
Half complete.
That's what I'll assign to you. I know you can do better. Also, that it leaves you room to play a halfling, which in some circles, I know some people think that like they get a lot of really good features. So
yeah,
go ham.
Very halflings are the ones with luck, right?
Yeah, they get where they can re-roll the nat ones.
Nice.
They're also immune to being frightened.
That would have helped a lot during that Katie Face game.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Because I rolled a lot of nat ones.
Huntsman, please. And the huntsman said no.
The huntsman will shield my mind. He really didn't.
Doesn't. Yeah, but that was a lot of fun. We played a little Underdark one shot, which my Gloomstalker Ranger was equipped for. So, that was a good time, and we had a lot of fun, and yeah, it was a great experience.
Right, yeah. So right now I am going back through our GroupMe history because I sort of made the agenda for this in there.
No, you're giving people too much of a behind the scenes look. We gotta make.
I am here for full transparency. They know what kind of bullshit we pull in this thing that we do.
We have to make them think we have our lives together.
But we don't.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
A lot of stuff has happened within the last couple of weeks.
Oh my God. Let's talk about it.
Hey. So those of you who have tuned into this channel have probably found us because you know that we are both really great fans of Critical Role, which is why I'm running like Waterdeep Dragon Heist in Amon.
Yes, sir.
And why we're on Talks Machina a lot.
Yes, sir.
Mostly Kylen.
Oh, you've probably been on more than me at this point. There was one point where you got on like 5 weeks in a row. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. If only those days were still here. Well, I got recognized for that. But Critical Role came up with they started releasing a couple of new shows.
Yeah, they've been blown the fuck up since they've gotten their own studio.
Oh yeah, they've been doing great, and Osqueef has been doing emotes for them, and
yes,
and he's done a lot of like graphics for them, like the MCM London stuff.
We love you, AQ.
We love you, AQ. If you ever want to come on this show, open invitation.
Oh my God. Shit. Actually, it would probably just be the sounds of him like snoring or whatever
because we record this way too early for him.
We can figure it out. Anyway.
We'll figure it out. Maybe brunch for you. But Between the Sheets did a couple of really cool episodes, which was really cool, like lo-fi, just talking and drinking.
Lo-fi interviews to study and relax to.
You say that, but like I legitimately think that that's an accurate description. because it's just like Brian Wayne Foster, a person that we've both met and adore.
Love you,
Yes.
BWF.
BWF, if you ever want to be on the show, an invitation. He's just talking to the storytellers and talking about their life and shit. Both Travis and, well, just to age this episode, Travis Willingham and Towson Jaffe of Critical Role have both done wonderful talks with
Goth
him.
Dad and Buff Dad.
Goth Dad and Buff Dad. Accurate descriptions. They've done great talks. We've got a wonderful whiskey glass emote out of it.
God.
And All Work No Play, a wonderful podcast that we both enjoy, that we have both been listened to.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Also got their first episode, which was also great.
Oh man, what did you think? Like some more in-depth thoughts, but what did you think of their episode?
So immediately first listening to it, I was like, this sounds exactly like what we've come to know and love about All Work No Play.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing different was with the visuals.
Yeah.
At least until they started like throwing in the visuals of what they've done and the art of what they've done.
But the format remains the same. Two lifelong friends with raw sexual energy just getting together, getting drunk, and shooting the shit.
Right. Like, honestly, the audio of the first like 10 minutes of the show, I can still imagine them doing in a hot tub with Mary Elizabeth McGlynn.
Yes. Oh my God.
Like, it was great just listening to that. It did end a little abruptly. They did it a little quickly. But,
I wish the episode was closer to an hour than it was to 30 minutes. But
which I think the next episodes are going to be. Marisha Ray did tweet a little bit about that. I think the next episodes are going to be a little bit longer. Fingers crossed if that's true, because we love seeing these fucks drink and talk to each other.
Yeah, and you know, if they wanted to make out, it wouldn't be opposed either.
Oh God.
Searching the feelings, you know it to be true.
Okay, so that's staying in there. We can't cut that out. We can definitely talk about that.
Fuck. I played my hand. No, it's so good, and I'm so excited to see everything that they're going to roll out in the future.
Oh yeah, they've been doing great.
The split has been very good for them, I feel like.
Yeah, them doing their own stuff, which like they are still sort of affiliated with Geek Sundry, at least for now.
You know, is good too, but I'm glad that they have the ability to pursue everything they want to pursue.
Yeah. So whenever they first came up with like, hey, we're going to make our own channel, I had thought that they were going to do something similar to another channel that I do a little bit with, Open for Adventure, and maybe like Cool Press and stuff, where like they have their own campaign settings and run a lot of worlds there. I thought that we were going to see a lot more D&D content, but looking back now, I see that these are a group of friends that bond together over this game. They want to make content that brings them closer together as this group of friends. They want to strengthen this company that they've made together. I can definitely see now this is not something that they want to do to tackle onto D&D. This is this group of friends that you know and love. This is content that they want to create and that they enjoy doing together.
Oh Jesus, and it's heartwarming as fuck. Like
it is wonderful.
I never would have imagined that I would have watched a stream of Danny's mom, and Taliesin playing Spider-Man, and you know, thinking that something I could see with 1,000 other people, you know? But that's what they can do now, and it's not about D&D anymore. It's just like
Not solely about D&D.
Yeah, I'm invested in these people and what they do. Like
Yeah, these are cool, sweet people.
Like I want to see them having fun and being happy. Like it's a very wholesome thing for me.
Do some lo-fi content to study fry.
Lo-fi friendship study and relax too. But yeah, we're two fan boys and girls gushing over
Two
our
fan boys, girls, non-binary BBs.
Yeah.
Doing just enjoying stuff. But we actually did have sort of an agenda for this.
Oh Jesus, our agenda.
So we 2 hours later, they finally get to it. You know, playing D&D and other tabletop role-playing games or virtual role-playing games is great. You get a lot of wonderful character creations and character moments with your friends and everything. But a lot of people either don't have a group, can't reconcile their schedule. Excuse me, I am getting very burpy right now. Sorry, everyone. They can't reconcile their schedule against their friends, which we all know that feel.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Or maybe you just don't vibe with the table that you're currently at right now, which is completely valid. Like, find a table that's right for you. That's easier said than done, but sometimes you need to get that fix of role-playing or character exploration through other media, like video games. You and I are definitely we both play a lot of video games.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say that I'm an aficionado or someone who devotes a lot of time to playing video games, because in fact I had to start a Twitch channel just so I had the excuse to keep playing video games.
Yeah, no, I've been playing video games years and years longer than I've been playing tabletop games. But
I didn't start playing tabletop games or tabletop role-playing games until 2015. I've been playing video games. Shit, my first console that I owned was a Game Boy Advance with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's / Philosopher's Stone for the Game Boy Advance.
The
first console that I had access to in my own home was a Super Nintendo. Blah, I'm slurring everything. Sorry, guys. With a lot of hand-me-down games. And yeah, what was your first console?
Oh, my first one was a Game Boy Pocket. So not quite the Game Boys that even had color on them yet, but the big bulky Game Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And my first games were Tetris and Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, so you're a Gen 1er.
No, yeah, I straight up was. I first played Pokemon when I was about 3 or 4 years old, which is funny. My very first experience with Pokemon was Pokemon Blue and deleting my older cousin's file.
I forgot this story.
And he had saved right before he was about to fight Mewtwo, and I had saved over it back over my professor.
Oh my gosh.
And he never let me touch his game again. He was so mad, and I didn't understand why he was so mad at me, because I was a wee bab. And I asked him for years after. I was like, please, can I play Pokemon? He was like, no, no. Which, in hindsight, totally makes sense. But as a young child, I didn't get it. But that was my very first experience playing Pokemon. And I think to mitigate the damage, my parents were like, here's your own Pokemon game. Please leave your cousin alone. But yeah, and And, Pokemon, as you know, but the listeners probably don't know, was pretty much the only video game I played from very early childhood until like middle or high school. I was very one-track minded and very solely obsessed with Pokemon.
Yeah. So I never got into Pokemon the games until a little bit later. I watched the anime from like whenever I was a also wee bab. And I was definitely there for Gen 1, Gen 2. I vaguely remember seeing Pokemon the movie 2000 in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, I
love that movie.
I saw the first movie in theaters.
I'm pretty sure I did, but I don't specifically remember that. I specifically remember leaving the theater from Pokemon the movie 2000.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
It was great. I remember the fucking blueberry Eggos with Elekid on it.
Oh my god, do you remember going to Burger King and getting the toys?
I do. The like little Pokeballs with the golden Mewtwo cards.
Yeah, and
or not Mewtwo cards, but the Mew.
You remember, like, it was this thing, they were like cards that you can like slide in. I remember I had one of
the Pokeballs. What a time to be alive.
And the Pokemon cereal with the little Pokemon spinny tops.
Oh, those were great.
Now, I don't know if you remember this, but they also had something that came out with like little Pokemon CDs that you could put into your computer and you can play like this little game. But it was essentially just scenes from Pokemon 2000.
I'm shaking my head right now. I really don't remember that.
I swear to God, it was something that you could get from Target. I very vividly remember that.
Oh, that explains it. I never went to Target.
But yeah, viewers, like, comment, and subscribe if you know vaguely what the fuck I'm talking about. And it was very weird because the discs weren't even like CD size. They were smaller than CD size. And
like GameCube discs?
They were like GameCube disc size, but they weren't even circular. They had like a weird divot. Like, it was like kind of round on top. There was a little divot and then like a round bottom. And it kind of looked like a police badge, if that makes sense.
That's fucking weird.
If you remember what the fuck I'm talking about, you'll know about that. But yeah, no, what a time to be alive back whenever Pokemon 2000 was coming out.
The golden age. The silver age. The gold and silver age.
The gold and silver age. Yeah. And crystal.
And crystal. Crystal came later.
Oh, Jesus. What subject were we on? Video.
We were on playing games that could be considered role-playing games. Specifically, playing video games, so that you can get that wonderful character exploration vibe. Now, Pokemon is considered a role-playing game. It's considered an RPG.
In a sense.
Where your Pokemon play different roles. You get tanks and you get walls and other things. I am not a competitive Pokemon player.
I know nothing.
Literally, the only time that I was able to like stand my own against like Pimp Zach and other competitive Pokemon players, or what I consider competitive Pokemon players, is whenever I got an action replay and I cheated the fuck out of my game.
You mean you got 2 critical hits?
Well. So the story that Kylen is referencing is the time where I modded my Pokemon to be like competitive level, which in some circles is still considered like legitimate, but I don't. But I just wanted to like get the feeling of playing competitive Pokemon, and I went against one of our friends, and I wanted to. Sorry, I'm being shady. And I wanted to go against him, and we had a wonderful battle. But some point during the fight, there's a bit of randomness to the fight where you can score a critical hit. And 2 turns in a row, my Pokemon scored a critical hit, and this person got so salty, he fucking closed his game, and it's just like, no, You fucking got 2 critical hits. That is not fair. I am closing this and shutting it down right now. You don't get to win.
Bitch,
I say that this is unfair.
Bitch, we scolded this person so hard.
And then we restarted the battle, and I fucking won again. And it was great, and I fucking loved it.
So, do you want to get on the subject of playing characters in video games after a short, quick little break?
I think that would be wonderful.
So, listen, editor-in-chief. If you could just put like that glittery effect on again, you know, the one that you did earlier.
Let's say that I do.
You were gonna put like this glittery effect on the screen.
Uh-huh.
Maybe just play a little bit of music, whatever you want.
What music? What Mimi music?
I don't know, something romantic.
Something romantic?
To go with the glittery.
Are you saying Kiss the Girl?
Sure.
Okay, that's inside jokey enough for it. That song has sentimental value for us in our friend group. So
Disney, please do not sue.
Disney, please don't sue. We'll only play like 5 minutes or 5 seconds, 3 seconds, and it will be sped up, so it's more like 1 second. Please, Disney, don't sue us. Okay, bye.
All right, we'll be back.
Bye. Okay, cool. I started this back up with my toe.
Good job. Very talented.
I did it. So yeah, I'm putting my computer on the floor so I don't get the hum of my computer through the microphone. So we are talking about role-playing in video games. And we were talking about Pokemon for a little bit because that's a series that we both enjoy a lot. Very excited for Gen 8. It's 8 now, right?
Yeah.
We just got Meltan revealed.
Oh yeah, the Pokemon Go fiasco-ish.
Yeah, that thing. We just got Meltan revealed. I think he's like 883. I know that it's going to be like 83 new Pokemon in Gen 8 at least. But
hell yeah.
So that's going to be really fucking cool. Hopefully we get an ice type wolf Pokemon that'll sate me over.
At Nintendo, please.
At Nintendo, please. Lycanroc is great. Lycanroc is great, but I want an ice type.
Give him something so he'll shut the fuck up.
I'll never shut the fuck up. We know that.
Yeah, once you get the ice dark wolf Pokemon, he'll be like, "This is the best thing ever. Let me talk about it every day."
Mm-hmm. And it's just going to take one punch from a fighting type Pokemon to put me in my place.
Truly.
But we were talking about D&D and perhaps people who couldn't get a table together and who might need to do their character exploration via video games, because we both enjoy video games. One of us has a Twitch channel where he has to make an excuse every week to play video games and talk about lore.
Okay, flex on me, but all right.
and I'm trying to get you to play Undertale on stream.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll see. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want me and Kylen, KyleWithAnN, to stream Undertale.
Do it. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Because that's a game I really enjoy and would love to play again. But...
So let's actually talk about Undertale, because Undertale is a role-playing game.
Yeah, in a sense.
It's specifically a role-playing game where you, without revealing too much, it's a role-playing game where you don't have to kill any enemies.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about this. Let's talk about what role-playing games allow you to do with character exploration. Because Undertale is a very unique game. It's one where you, as the player, take control of this androgynous child and go through a realm of monsters where you can either kill everyone, not kill anybody, or only kill the experience fodder that you think are appropriate and not story-centric. But the decision is ultimately up to you, the player, and you bring your own perspectives and stuff into that.
Yeah, it's very interesting because for seasoned RPG players, it kind of turns the tropes on its head. And I know we're probably like 2 years behind on this discussion, but what the fuck ever. Yeah, so it turns the tropes on its head where you think, oh, you know, I just need to grind and whatever. But then it's just like, oh, you know, these things that you're killing, they're people, their life, and
They have hopes, they have dreams,
and you're
they have a really cool song at the end called Hopes and Dreams.
and so your actions have consequences, basically. And
Let me not do that meme.
when will you learn? But yeah, so how heavily you lean into the side of pacifism or into the side of violence greatly impacts the world around you and the ending that you get. So it's a very I love it. I know the community has a bad rap of being cringy or whatever the fuck, but I love the game. You know, I still love the game. I think it's one of the best games that I've ever played personally. So yeah, I would love to stream it. Don't tell Connor. I would love to stream it if I had the time.
What?
Shh, no one tell him. It's not like he's listening.
It's not like he's editing this.
He's gonna edit Kill Bill sirens around.
Ah, shit, now I actually have to do that. But Undertale is not the only game where you as the player character, have to make a choice between pacifist genocide, between Renegade and Paragon. In fact, you specifically really enjoy a series called Mass Effect. And how is that different from a game like Undertale?
Oh my god. Yes, I stand Mass Effect so hard.
And
So,
talk about the player character in that.
so I feel like the player character is more defined in Mass Effect. So you play Commander Shepard, who is a person of some repute in the first game, but it's kind of different in the sense that you do get to make these choices on whether you want to be more direct, maybe a little more violent. You choose the renegade choices, or maybe you want to be more diplomatic. You want to be more peaceful, and in which you err to the side of Paragon. And now, if you decide to continue your character's save file throughout all 3 games, the choices you make stick with you for a much longer period of time. And of course, you can change your choices at any time you like. So let's say in the first game, you decide to lean into more Paragon. Maybe the second game, you're like, oh, I'm a little more neutral. In the last game, you decide to go more Renegade. You'll get a completely unique experience. So, yeah, and that can greatly impact everything around you because Commander Shepard is just, it gets to be a point where they're just like the linchpin of the fate of the entire galaxy by the 3rd game. So it's a game that I have played multiple times, maybe at least 5 times.
Which, like, I've never played this game, but I have heard a lot of discussion about it.
It's so good. Yeah, it's a game that I've played multiple times because I just love exploring all the different possibilities that you can take. And not even just the role-playing choices, but on top of that, you get the aspect of getting different battle styles that you can play into. So one of the choices you make in the beginning is kind of like what class you want to take. So whether you want to go, so they have like they basically split the classes into combat, which is like melee, force, up close and personal. You get tech, which is powers based off of just like technology, essentially. And you get biotics, which is kind of like technology, innate ability, magic, force powers. It's sort of like the magic of the Mass Effect universe.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, you basically get 6 classes, which are either purely like combat, tech, biotic, or a combination of the two. And you can pick one of those to start out with. So that changes the game, and then your choices changes the game. So to me, that's why the replay value in that series is so high, because you can do so many different things with it, and your choices always matter. Unlike some games where it's like, oh, you can make a choice, but the choice is superficial in the end. Like the game will push towards whatever, consequence or ending it wants, regardless. Where in Mass Effect, your choices resonate throughout this trilogy.
Which, like, for games that have branching storylines and everything, but still try to maintain a singular narrative and everything, as someone who does software engineering professionally, like I do understand how that can be complicated to implement. But games are evolving. We're getting a lot more complicated, a lot more complex. Let me say that, overcomplicated. I can definitely see how choice and branching storylines and everything continue to evolve, continue to try to deviate away from, oh, well, your branching storyline and everything is just like sort of different dialogue options and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It actually is a completely different path. It's interesting to see like games like Detroit Become Human show the entire branching path. Have you seen any of Detroit Become Human?
No, I didn't really keep up with it because I heard it was slightly problematic. So
It was okay. It was definitely a little on the nose, I guess.
Yeah, like it was
But I think for a Telltale-esque game that was like cinematic but also choice based, it just a single option for it to like show the entire like sequence of your choices on the replay screen. Like at the end of the chapter, you get to see like all of your choices. And what you hit, what you didn't hit, and you get to see like, oh well, if I did something else, that would have led to a different branch. That was interesting to see, because that's very transparent to how the developers saw the game.
Right.
Whereas you and I have both played a little known game called Life is Strange, where it's also very Telltale based, very cinematic story choice based, but we don't get to see those options. We only have our own unique experiences that ultimately lead to us taking very different options.
Life is Strange is sort of unique because towards the end of chapters, you can kind of preview, like with Life is Strange, sometimes it'll give you like a branching choice, and the kind of like the gimmick of the game is you kind of have like small time travel powers in which you can kind of like rewind time.
Life is Strange Season 1, or Life is Strange 1.
I'm not speaking to 2 or Before the Storm or anything, because
Right.
I've only played 1.
Mm-hmm.
So you could kind of preview the choices that you got, and like before you like left a certain area where it basically like lock in your choice. So that aspect was unique. But even then, it didn't really give you an entire view of the consequences of that choice. It gave you like
which
small.
as someone who has played Before the Storm, not Captain Spirit, I have not played Captain Spirit, but I have
Oh,
played Life
I
is
don't think I
Strange
could.
2 Episode 1. I miss the time travel mechanics so much because every now and then you get a dialogue option that you think is going to be innocent and everything. I normally play Paragons, but like every now and then I get a conversation topic that I think is going to be innocent, but it turns out I'm coming across as the biggest asshole. And I'm like, I have to restart, but I cannot use a time rewindy power.
Oh, Dragon
Because
Age is guilty of that too.
it's I can't do that anymore in Life is Strange past the first one. It's so bad. But yeah, Life is Strange lets you preview these options and correct your choices if you think that you've made a wrong one. But it turns out
Good for me as a perfectionist. But even then, there are some times where it's never like, oh, this is the right choice.
Right. So like at the end, we've imposed our own worldviews on this character, Max Caulfield. Excuse me. And we both ended in very different choices in this game.
Yeah.
Without spoiling too much, because Life is Strange 2 did just come out, people are going to play that and probably revisit the first one, which I definitely encourage you to do. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Love that game.
Very soon, I hope to have a wonderful friend of mine, Camille does D&D, play Life is Strange on this couch.
Oh, that's great.
And we will get to see her perspective on this game, hopefully. Because I think that's going to be wonderful. I love getting a peek inside her beautiful mind. But we both ended up, without spoiling anything, reaching very different conclusions in our
yes we did.
And without I really don't want to spoil anything about Life is Strange 1, but everything culminates in a choice that I like to refer to as utilitarian, the needs of the many. And I don't know philosophy, and
so basically the needs of the many versus the needs of the few or the one.
Right. So Spock.
Yeah. So it was a very Spock decision.
Where I ended up choosing needs of the many.
And I said fuck Spock, and I chose the needs of the few or the one.
Where I said also, but fuck Spock.
Zachary Quinto called me.
But please.
Yeah, we chose two totally different endings.
So we definitely brought our own views to this one character who definitely had her own story, her own preconceived notions of the world around her.
Oh yes, you could definitely do that in Life is Strange.
And you haven't played any of the other ones.
No, I haven't played anything else outside of one.
But that definitely does carry on through the others.
Mm-hmm.
Life is Strange Before the Storm focuses on a character that does make an appearance in Life is Strange, Chloe.
Yes.
And even though we know where her story ends up because of Life is Strange, because Life is Strange Before the Storm is prequel, you are still able to impose your worldview and choices upon her a few years earlier, before the storm that makes an appearance in Life is Strange. And even still, I am sure that we would both make very different choices in that game, because you and I
guess so.
We don't play these games because of the character that was given to us. We impose our own experiences, our own views on this character who is essentially a semi-blank slate.
Yes, our tabula rasa, if you will.
So like the character of Chloe is very outspoken, abrasive, to a point. Like, she's still definitely likable, one of the best written characters in Life is Strange. But you were still given a lot of control over this character. Like, you can make this character badmouth off to every character. You can try to make her friends with everyone, and everyone will think
Chloe
that she,
or Max?
with Chloe.
Okay.
Because Chloe is given a character in Life is Strange. But before the storm, she is the player avatar.
Okay, yeah.
And you were still able to assert yourself as the guiding force behind this character. And it's interesting to see the choices that you can make, even though this character has a preconceived path and character.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about characters that the player wants to explore, or that someone who can't find a D&D table can explore. Do you have any other games that maybe like you can explore yourself in? Because I have a few that I could probably talk about if you want to take a moment to think about that.
Well, in the same strand, with Mass Effect, just because it's made by the same company.
Oh yeah, Dragon Age.
I would say Dragon Age 2 falls into that.
Specifically Dragon Age 2. Okay.
Oh, I haven't played Dragon Age 2. I only played the Origins and Inquisition.
Oh, you were saying also, not the number 2.
Yeah, also Dragon Age. So that kind of falls into, which Dragon Age is a little bit different, in which your choices don't carry over as much. So if you want the continuity, go with Mass Effect. But if you like the medieval setting, Dragon Age is a good fit.
Yes, hello. I'm a fantasy thought.
And without being too topical, Telltale games were good for that, in which you could play a character and kind of impose how they felt about the world.
Do you want to talk about The Wolf Among Us?
Oh shit, bitch! I love The Wolf Among Us.
I also love The Wolf.
I played through that game 3 different times. Oh shit, that game was so good.
That was so good. I didn't play The Wolf Among Us until 2014, summer of 2014. When the last episodes were coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But I specifically remember because I was in the apartment complex where we spent some wonderful, wonderful years of undergrad.
Bitch, really?
While I was interning at another company in Louisiana.
Oh my god. Memories.
I don't remember the choices that I made. It was not Paragon, and it was not Renegade. It was very much in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, I think myself, Cybrwulf Connor, was a very abrasive person.
Yeah, Telltale games gave you a little more options. Like, you basically had like a good choice, a neutral choice, a bad choice, and like a silent choice, which I played an all silent playthrough of The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead, which, let me tell you.
Oh, so you just press Y for everything?
Yeah, which you basically just ellipses everything, which can be funny.
I think I was vocal toward everything. I was just an asshole.
Uh-huh.
Because, I mean, so you're playing as the big bad wolf.
Oh, Big B Wolf.
Big B Wolf. Which is very very on the schnoz. Kylen is just tapping her nose. It's great. But you're in this world of fairy tale characters, and I think there was a comic book world of this that was adapted by Telltale to make this game, which was really good. And you're allowed to make these choices to figure out what's going on in Fabletown, and eventually, shit, I don't even remember the final choice. I think it was to kill the perpetrator or not.
It not even just kill the. I think you had 3 choices about what you want to do with the perpetrator. So it was a little more. It's a little more complex than say a BioWare game in which the choices are a little on a binary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that game was wonderful. I also played. So the only other Telltale game that I've really played was Game of Thrones, where I made bad choices, and I'm pretty sure all of my family died because of my choices.
No, I played the first season of The Walking Dead back on the Xbox 360 to let you know how long ago this was.
I played The Wolf Among Us on the 360.
Oh, I played The Wolf Among Us on PC, but yeah, I played the first Walking Dead, and that game was a lot of fun too. So that's why I'm sad that Telltale is in the state that it's in.
Yeah, so just to age this episode a little bit more, we're recording this like I think literally the next week after Telltale announced that it was going to be closing its doors.
Yeah, which that whole situation is shitty in the way they treated their workers, so I'm not entirely happy with them, and
but
God, it's
I mean, the outreach for the talent has been very good to see. I definitely hope that all the employees there, all the talent that's been working on games that you and I have enjoyed so much, I hope that they find other wonderful ways to use that talent, wonderful ways to support themselves and their families and stuff.
Absolutely.
And you and I, we're like we said, we've been experiencing cinematic choice based narrative games like Life is Strange, like Mass Effect, through other developers. So hopefully the legacy that Telltale has started will live on, and we will continue to be able to explore characters through other publishers and developers.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you have some other games you would like to suggest.
Yeah, do that. Please subscribe to my channel because I would really like to have a URL. Shameless plug.
Cybrwulf1201.
Yes, hello, I'm a cyber thought. But there are games where you can essentially self-insert yourself. Self-insert yourself. That's a way to phrase that. One of literally my favorite game series of all time is The Elder Scrolls.
Oh, bitch, go off.
Let me go off. So The Elder Scrolls is a game where you literally start out the game building yourself as a character. And I say yourself as a character. You can build whatever you want. You can be as close to yourself as possible, or decide to role play. You can make another character with a backstory and let them loose in this character where you have a lot of what's the word? You have a lot of choice. You have a lot of agency. Agency is the word I was looking for, over what your character can do and what your character will do. Elder Scrolls is a game where your choice really doesn't matter. The game usually does end in a very
Prescribed.
Prescribed is a good word. Prescribed way. Like say Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, the most recent one. It's still like 7 years old. Fuck, that game's old, but fuck, do I love it.
You play in your refrigerator now, so you know.
You can Alexa play Skyrim. You can literally play Skyrim on your Alexa. It's great. It's not great. You end the game by killing Alduin, who is like the son of Akatosh. There's a lot of lore that I could talk about that I'm not going to. What are you doing with your fingers? Kylen is doing things with her fingers as supposed to be.
I'm just trying to spell.
I think you're spelling lore.
I was trying to spell lore, but it's very complicated.
Yeah, you don't have enough hands to actually make an E.
If only I were an octopus.
Maybe if we learn ASL, we can do it better.
All right. Our challenge for
the week is to learn all of ASL. Learn an entire different language. Which, to any of our ASL signing listeners, we are sorry. We are going to try our best. Whenever we
at least learn the alphabet. I think that's a feasible goal.
At one point, I knew the alphabet.
Me too, but I kind of forgot it.
Yeah.
Oh, bitch. Quick aside. One time I went to this church camp that basically you signed up for almost like classes that you wanted to take whenever you weren't in like worship or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ones I signed up for was like this ASL class. And bitch, I had no idea. I walked in there and the girl that was teaching it did not say any spoken word whatsoever and started signing immediately. And I was like, oh shit, bitch, I'm in for a world of hurt. So I had to learn quickly how to communicate in this class, which it makes sense. They're like the best way to learn language is to be immersed in the language.
Right.
But it's very scary.
Yeah.
So I was able to pick up some stuff at the end of the week. Now, just because I haven't practiced in a while, I've kind of lost it. But yeah.
Yeah.
We'll learn a little bit of ASL before next time. That's our challenge.
At least enough to like sign our names.
That seems about right, Connor.
Yeah. But shit, how did I get on ASL? I was talking about Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and you were signing lore.
Yes.
So like you end the game by like killing Alduin, son of Akatosh, who is trying to like devour the world. There's no left or right of that. That's how you end the game. You can make certain choices on the way there, and you can make certain choices with the factions and everything, but your character, if you pursue the main quest, is going to do that. Because you are the Dragonborn. That's what you do. But Skyrim does pride itself on being an Elder Scrolls game, which is a role-playing game where you can play whatever role you want to. I have never role-played in an Elder Scrolls game. I've always done completion. I've always joined every faction. I've always tried to get every Daedric artifact. I have always tried to like do every side quest. I want to do it all. And that's why I've dumped so many hours into this game. Because I wanted to do it all. And I've never actually done it all. So every time I load up the game, I'm like, okay, let me go through this entry dungeon, let me get some ore, transmute it so I can make some money, let me join the Companions Guild so I can become a werewolf because I am Cybrwulf1201 and that's what I do in my life. My lights are turning off right now. I see dead people.
Oh,
Let
shit.
me turn them back on.
Oh, God. The sleep paralysis demon.
The sleep paralysis demon is coming for me.
Oh, Jesus.
But that's what I do in the Elder Scrolls. And like some people do actually role play during this game. And as much as I say that I want to do that, I never do. And I have tried to do that, and I never can.
Oh, that's interesting.
I always want to do it all.
Oh no, I don't have the energy to be a completionist. So whenever I approach games like that,
At Gerard the Completionist, if you want to be on this podcast, open invitation.
DM us. No, I don't have the mindset or the energy of a completionist. So whenever I start games like that, now mind you, I've never actually played a Bethesda game to completion. So I'll
No
speak
one has.
I'll speak from a BioWare games or a Telltale Games experience. I take the mindset of, okay, what kind of character do I want to play? Do I want to play a hard ass? Do I want to play a benevolent person? Do I want to play someone neutral? And I go with that. But you approach it from the standpoint of, I want to tick all the boxes. I want to get all of this. I want to accomplish all that I can. But meanwhile, I'm just like, I want to see this story thread too, and whatever happens, happens.
Right. So we definitely take our different paths, choices, perspectives there. I don't know. So that's a game that Elder Scrolls is a game where you have a self-insert character. Fallout is the same way. It's just Elder Scrolls with guns and nuclear fallout. But then there are other like role-playing games, like say, Kylen has walked away. Kylen has muted and walked away. Hello, welcome back.
Sorry, I had to discipline my son. He was being naughty and chewing wires.
Oh, VX, don't chew wires, VX.
For first-time listeners, I have a cat named Vax who is, oh, god damn it.
No relation to Vax'ildan from Critical Role, except that the cat is named after Vax'ildan from Critical Role.
God damn it. Be good, you demon.
Back beast.
Yeah, he's in a chewy mood tonight, so he's trying to chew on some plastic. Oh god damn it, he's about to do it.
All right, so we have devolved into cat discipline and stuff. Well, I guess this topic isn't one that Kylen would have a lot to say about anyway, because she hasn't played this particular game. But there's another game that prides itself on being a role-playing game where you can immerse yourself into the world and take on the choices of this particular game. It's called The Witcher.
Ah, the bitcher.
Oh, all right. That's a way to call it. Witcher apparently has this really great open fantasy world that you can explore and everything, but you're not allowed to make your own character. You are given Geralt of Rivera, the Witcher from the previous two Witcher games, because the only one that I played is The Witcher 3, which I've played an hour of. I really wasn't able to get into it, just because I felt like there was a lot of lore and backstory that I was missing out on. How do you feel about like being given a character and either taking control of this character and imposing your perspective on, or trying to reconcile your perspective against what the game wants you to accept as this character?
See, I think it's a little easier for me than it is for you not to impose or anything, because I'm used to like BioWare games in which they kind of set you up in this like preconceived character and the preconceived roles that this character feels, in which they're kind of set up as like heroes of this realm or universe or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of fill in the details on how they approach it. So to me, I don't mind that because I know I can individualize how they accomplish what they accomplish, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we've run this thread to its logical conclusion. What do you have to say to people who can't find a D&D group and have to find their character exploration elsewhere?
Well, I kind of wanted to speak to the people who are more so interested in like combat
Combat, okay.
than they are interested in like role play. So if you're interested in like exploring the possibilities of what you can do in battle, I think some of the more recent Fire Emblem games.
That's right. We haven't talked about Fire Emblem yet.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a Fire Emblem bitch.
I have played a couple.
So I think some of the more recent Fire Emblem games can scratch that itch for customization, but still exploring what kind of role you want to take in battle. So mainly, I would say Fire Emblem Awakening and the Fire Emblem Fates games, which there are about 3 if you want to get technical. But definitely, I would recommend Fire Emblem Awakening.
How many times have you played through Fire Emblem Awakening?
Several. I mean, I would only be able to count it on one hand, but definitely
Okay.
several times.
So I've only played Fire Emblem Awakening once, but I have played through Fire Emblem Fates 3 times, one for each of the storylines.
See, and I haven't even finished one game of Fates, which is so funny. But
Have you finished Echoes?
I
Or
haven't even finished
Echoes Shadows of Valentia?
No, I haven't finished Echoes either, just because.
I could not get into Echoes.
Oh, I thought it was so much fun, but I always try to play Fire Emblem games on Classic first, just because that's how the original games were created.
So I am bad. I am bad at Fire Emblem. I am very, very bad at Fire Emblem.
Oh, bitch, me too.
So I play on like bitch difficulty, and I just send my players at the opponent because I'm just trying to get the story and I'm trying to get the lore.
No, see, the first Fire Emblem I played was a classic Fire Emblem game. So, not to betray my roots, I tried to, at least for the first playthrough, play on the classic difficulty, in which if your units die in battle, you can no longer use them. They die for real.
If you die in the game, you die in real life.
But because I'm a perfectionist, I'll reset if they die. So that is my hold up on some of the games. But I was able to accomplish that with Fire Emblem Awakening, so that's why I've played through it like essentially 5 times at this point. So why I recommend those games to people who are more focused on combat per se is you get minimal choices, and I'll speak more from the Fire Emblem Awakening experience. You get minimal choices that don't make that much of an impact on the story. The fate system is a little different because you basically make one big initial choice at the beginning that sets off which game you go into.
Yeah, so essentially at chapter 6, you're sent on you get a choice on like which family to align yourself with, your birth family or the family that you were kidnapped by and raised in.
Or neither.
Or yeah, there was a third game that like came out later as DLC from either of the games.
That was the neither choice, but
The neither choice, like, I'm not going to side with either of you. I feel like I need to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Yeah.
Which I've played through all three, and let me say, obviously that third choice, the DLC one, is like the best choice. But out of the two games, Conquest. Conquest was my fave.
Oh yeah, Conquest was the one that I originally bought because it was more in line with like traditional Fire Emblem.
Well, no. Birthright was Hoshido.
No, Birthright was different because it had more of like a Japanese flair.
No, that was Hoshido was Birthright.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I thought we were talking about Conquest.
No. Birthright has more of a Japanese flair.
I'm very drunk.
Oh, God damn it, bitch. Also, it was a little bit easier, whereas Conquest has more of the European flair that the other Fire Emblem games play into, and it's a bit harder.
So I like Conquest because you can find Kylen.
Yeah, true. Who is like a werewolf? So
Kylen is a werewolf, and he has a daughter called what's her name? Valor, and she is Red Riding Hood, and she is Faye.
Yeah, so our dumb bitch Connor over here picking the game with werewolves in it.
Yes, hello, it me, dumb bitch.
But yeah, so that again, so the choices that you make in those games are, you get a little bit of customization, but the story choices that you make are minimal because they basically have this preconceived structure to, no matter what you choose, it kind of writes itself to the story path it wants to take. But I think the kind of fun thing about it is those characters, you basically get like an avatar character in which you can customize not only like how they look, how they sound, who they romance, whatever, but essentially what role they choose in combat. So that's one of the reasons why I keep coming back to it, because I can try out new classes that I haven't had a chance to experiment with before, which is, another reason why I love D&D. I love the story and role-playing aspect of it, but I also love getting to try new race, class, spell, attack, whatever combination, to see what I can do in battle. So if that shit tickles your fancy, I would suggest trying out games like that, which give you a little bit of customization and a little bit of choice, but not really, but you get to go ham on the battle aspect.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, so that's all right, because I asked you, like, what would you say to people who aren't able to find a table, or aren't able to find a table right now? Hopefully you can join a looking for group page and find a group that you vibe with, your play style, or the play style that you think you want to play right now meshes with. Because like we are all creatures of evolving and changing tastes. What we like right now is probably not going to be what we like a year from now, a couple months from now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
A random aside, have you ever been a part of a table in which it didn't jive with like what you wanted?
Yes.
Interesting. Do you want to talk about that or no?
No.
No, I don't think I've ever had that experience. I think every table I've been at, I've been somewhat satisfied.
Well, hey, you're a very adaptable person, very accommodating to a lot of people's needs and everything. You are a national treasure and must be protected.
Oh my God, Connor, stop. Bitch.
International treasure.
Oh shit, bitch.
Whereas I am a thought.
An international thought must be protected.
Put under witness protection. and kept away from the world. Yes, there are tables that I've been a part of that I will probably not be a part of again. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard for me to like look back and like say, yes, that is what I'm thinking of right now.
I see.
But before I ever got involved with role-playing games, I got involved with the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion, which was a wonderful way to make characters and have them impact a world to a somewhat superficial degree. Like, you're essentially ticking off checkboxes. But you can always like choose different. You weren't able to really like choose a class. You can still like do everything if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But you could definitely like make different characters with different backstories that never have an impact on the world. And play those out and like have your own little fantasies. But like I played through like Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on the Game Boy Advance, saying like, oh well, in this playthrough of the first couple of chapters, I'm like best friends with Voldemort, and I think that we're going to have a lot of fun in the Chamber of Secrets playing like board games and shit. And that's the game that I think that I'm playing this time whenever I load up this Game Boy Advance cartridge.
Oh my god, you know what game I haven't talked about?
Yeah. What?
Octopath Traveler.
We haven't talked about Octopath Traveler.
Oh my god.
Which, like, I've only played through the first episode of Haunted and the first episode of The Cleric.
And I've played through 3 different Chapter 4 episodes, which, for those who aren't familiar with the game, are essentially like the final episodes of each character's chapter. So I played 3 of 8 final chapters, which I haven't played in a little bit because I kind of backed myself into a corner and I'm being stubborn, but whatever. So I'm a big fan of Octopath Traveler. And for that game, I would assign that one more to the combat side of the personalized combat side.
Yeah, because and I've only played through a couple of first episodes, but I've played through the first episode of the
Cyrus.
Yeah.
So
in addition to the cleric and the hunter. But there's not a lot of narrative choice in that game as far as what I've been exposed to.
Yeah, basically the only choices you get are what character do I want to get when, and then beyond that, what subclass do I want to equip to each character. So Octopath Traveler is interesting. If you're not familiar with the game, you basically have a party of 8 different adventurers who have their own different stories, their own different missions. So there's not a lot of narrative overlap. There are sometimes some side scenes in which you'll see them talking about some of the events that just happened. But other than that, there's not really that much overlap. Now, without being spoilery, I'll say that towards the end, I believe there's an overlap in which all their missions kind of come together, but
interesting.
We're not going to get to that because spoilery. But yeah, so
I have not finished this game. Although I think that like at least going into the first episode of the Hunter and the first episode of the Cleric, they provide a wonderful basis for what your character could be in a game like D&D, where you have a lot more open-ended choices.
Yes.
Where the only thing that's standing in your way of making the character that you want is your DM saying yes. It's Vax being vocal.
Yeah, he's meowing.
Oh. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to hear more of Vax.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell to get spammed whenever I upload a Twitch session.
But yeah, for that one, you don't really get a choice in the story. The story's pretty linear.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I like about Octopath Traveler is once you've basically leveled up on whatever the character's initial class is. So the character I got, Haunted, is a huntress or hunter, which is essentially, if you want to put it into D&D terms,
Is a Pokemon master.
Yes, it's a
specifically in D&D terms.
But once you get to the point where you get all the characters and you go to different shrines and pick up jobs, you can equip each character with a subclass. And each character can take whatever subclass. So from there, the combat gets really personalized. And then there's a feature which you can give characters a subclass, and you can get certain passive skills that you equip and can have whatever time, but you could only have the combat skills of whatever subclass you have. So if you switch to another subclass, you no longer have access to the combat skills, but you still have access to the passive skills, if I'm making sense.
There are a lot of skills being talked about there, but I'm sure it relates to D&D characters in some way. I've played Octopath Traveler, so I know a little bit of what you're talking about, but I haven't played enough to get subclasses.
That makes sense.
Or secondary classes.
So in that aspect, you can really customize what you want your characters to be. And unlike in D&D, where it's a little more permanent, like once you level up, you choose this thing and you can't really go back on that. On Octopath, you're like, oh, I don't really like how I have this configured at the moment. Let me switch these sub-jobs around, and okay, now I have the characters how I want them to be. So it's really a nice, strategic combat sort of thing, which really, scratches an itch of mine because, like I've said before, as much as I love the storytelling aspects, I love the strategic combat. Let me do something I've never done before, and it's kind of optimal combat thing. And if you're I know a lot of Octopath Traveler community people have put their own lore in, especially considering character relationships where some is missing, so you can kind of put your own lore in. But I think there is enough lore, especially when you get towards the end of the game, where it kind of connects everyone together. So it's a great game if you have a Switch.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. If you love those turn-based JRPGs, get in on that shit.
And the game is beautiful, and the soundtrack is wonderful.
God, I can immerse myself in that soundtrack. It's fantastic.
And the game is a little bit grindy because it is a JRPG, but
see, I like that shit because I can zone out and just grind.
I need more time to be able to enjoy that, because I had to start a Twitch channel just to have an excuse to set aside time every week to play video games.
I see. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
But I mean that's just me. I get a lot of I'm blessed enough to have time each week to play games like D&D with various different friend groups. VX.
Shut up, bitch. You have no right to speak in this house.
And that I'm able to explore these characters and worlds with people that I enjoy spending time with. Whereas me spending time alone with something that developers have spent a lot of time ensuring that I would enjoy doesn't come as natural to me.
Yeah, each scratches a different itch, I believe. Sometimes you just want to I want to take control of the story, or I want to take control of battle. And sometimes it's just like, I want to construct something with my friends. So I think each fulfills a different need. I think both are as equal and valuable and something I want to spend my time doing.
Explore all the worlds that you can, explore all the characters that you can, and just keep sharing your creativeness with the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me one second. I gotta discipline my cat son.
Discipline Vax. Do it. Shit, she muted, so we can't hear any of the cuteness that is happening between Kylen and Vax, the cat.
Oh, it wasn't cuteness. It was me basically throwing him out.
Oh no, Vax!
He bad. He was scratching the door.
Oh,
I had no choice.
Oh no, Vax! Why you do this? Oh no.
ASPACA, if you want to be a sponsor.
So, ASPCA. I'm sending you some stuff via smile.amazon.com.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you
Like, comment, and subscribe if you use smile.amazon. Not sponsored by Amazon. So it's Kylen.
So Connor.
So most of our wonderful listeners, our wonderful talkers, people who talk with us.
We'll
come
up with a name eventually.
No, we won't. Like, comment, and subscribe if you have a name for yourself.
Ring that motherfucking bell if you want to call yourself something. If you want some meaning in this meaningless world.
Find it through whatever your passion is.
And through us.
What the fuck? Is there anything else that has happened in the last couple of weeks? Do you want to talk about anything with your D&D games or your video game adaptations or whatever?
Did we talk about how emotional today's session was?
So, for those of you who have tuned in, you may know that Kylen and I play in Pro Restarter's Dragon Knights campaign. It's a 5th edition D&D game.
In a homebrew setting.
In a homebrew setting, a homebrew world called Lathander. Not to be confused with the sun god Lathander from the Forgotten Realm setting. We were going through a magical dragon tree and fought off.
Spoilers.
And yes, very, very much spoilers for the Dragon Knights game. We fought off your inner demons.
Yes. I had made a series of bad choices in like the past 2 episodes, which came back to bite me in the butt, which I was okay with because I love being a hoe for the drama.
Which I have a sort of question for you. In that game, my dragon. So we are the Dragon Knights of that game. Roll credits. And Isabel, my character, the half-elf warlock of the Celestial of the Dragon Dad Pact. I have bonded with my dragon, who is my dad, Voragol, not to be confused with Voragol from Critical Role, Campaign 1. Is your Shadow Dragon your actual dragon? Is that your Dragon Knight dragon?
See?
Do you know?
The great thing is, I have no idea.
Oh, shit.
So, whenever PR was like, you feel a warmth, or like you feel a pull whenever this thing's being stabbed, I'm like, oh fuck, this might be it.
You peed your pants.
I don't know if I fully peed my pants but I think I partially peed my pants, which today's session, honestly, without a doubt, for those of you who haven't watched the stream today, was like the best session I've ever played in, because I legitimately cried. I was so like, I don't care how good of a role player you are, you're not ever going to be 100% involved, or like 100% in the moment 100% of the time. But in that moment, I was 100% in the moment from the get-go, and I feel like everyone else was. And whenever my character was feeling emotional, it got to a point where I was feeling emotional. So yes, bitch, I cried. Like, it wasn't like full run down the cheeks, but I was tears welling up in my eyes. But yeah, no, I didn't know, and I don't know where next week is gonna go from there.
Next week is gonna be our finale, isn't it?
Oh shit, yeah, I think so. So the thing about playing D&D in like this broadcasted
Right, because
experience.
this is your first experience with broadcasted tabletop role playing.
Yeah, so in like traditional games, you roll the dice and you do whatever, and that's it. That's determined. But a lot of format that a lot of streamers hate nowadays, excuse me, with like Twitch and everything, and like the bits donation system, is sometimes if you donate so much, your choices can affect the combat or the story or whatever.
Which in our game, my DM for our Monday night games, or for my Monday nights games, Indoor Adventurer, is donating a lot.
Indoor, please save your money. Make sure you have enough food to take care of
Indoor, please take care of yourself. But Indoor has been supporting me so much as a player and as a player in other games.
what a fantastic guy.
Indoor is so great. He is honestly one of my favorite people to game with.
Shout out to you, Indoor. You deserve it.
He's been throwing a lot of bits at us in that game.
Yes. So a lot of like whatever chat does influences the flow of the game a little bit. So it's different than playing in like this private setting where whatever happens, where the setting where you're in the fishbowl, the people outside the fishbowl are like, oh no, I'm gonna throw this at you
Feed the
and
fish.
change this in your favor or maybe not in your favor. So it drastically changes it, and I think it heightens it in a sense sometimes, whether or not they donate in your favor or not in your favor. So we had a lot of that happening, and just so many thematic things happening, and a lot of story ties wrapping up, and just so many cool cinematic moments that I was fully in it from the start to the end, which I don't know if I could ever say that about a D&D session. Not to, bash DMs or players, but sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm thinking about whatever's going on in my life on top of that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got to be a perfect storm of that. Say like, no, go ahead and finish. I'll come into mine.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, but in that moment, to me, nothing else mattered. Like, it was so intense, so imperative. Like, everything else around me was shut out. I was Zephyr, and Zephyr was me, and this was my reality. So it was very true to form, and that's why me, I never cry. I'm not a crier. That's not a natural emotion I have. But towards the end of the session, I started tearing up and crying, even at acting as my character. Like, it was very real for me. Oh, bitch. I see you.
Well, like, as actor types, I love that for both of us, because like our first bonding was over us being thespians. What are you doing? What are you doing with your fingers right now?
Nothing.
Our first bonding was over like us being parts of or members of the International Thespian Society.
Yeah.
And
Our
us
bonding
being
is being lesbians.
We are big old lesbians. So us being actor types, being able to pursue that improv, acting, character exploration through D&D is great, and I love that you were able to get so emotionally attached to this particular character and react so much to what was going on. I had a wonderful session on Monday, which I've talked about at the beginning of the session. It is something that I've been building up on Indoor Adventures channel for a long time. This is a character that I've built around the introduction of his patron, and everything finally came to a head whenever we hit level 3, and I had to introduce this. This is a character who is a sweetheart who has to deal with a very dark destiny that has been chosen for him. And he started off like, hey, this is our bathhouse episode. Let me expose myself. Y'all see all of the literal writing on the wall, the writing on my skin, saying, I am bad news for all of you. And everything that you've seen up to this point may not be the truth. And we ended the episode with my dragon ancestor,
Dad,
forcing himself into my body.
Oh.
Which it's a little bit top goal for right now. But there's bad juju going on with this character, and I'm so happy to explore it. I have not been able to stop thinking about what I am going to do on Monday.
Oh, I love
what
that
I'm
shit.
going to be able to do. What am I going to say to these other players? Because they have all seen me at my worst. They have seen me talking to this dragon ancestor who has had nothing nice to say to me. He's like, you have been on the wrong path this entire time. You are supposed to be a king. You are supposed to be a servant of Tiamat. What are you doing? You have no sense of self-worth, and you are supposed to be me. And I have to accept that I am bonded with this person, this dragon now. And it is going to be so bad for us. But I also get some really cool class abilities from it.
Oh, bitch, I love that shit. I love it.
And like, this is the sort of like dark take that I've wanted to take on for a while, but I've never had a long-term campaign to fully flesh out. And I'm so glad that I'm able to do that now, especially for a very soft-spoken sweetheart character.
Oh, I just love driving that wedge in between the party with my
Oh yeah, it's so great. It's like, I'm back on my bullshit. I am driving a wedge between my party members. I am bringing my baggage along for this ride.
Oh, we stay on our bullshit.
We stay on our bullshit. But like, that's not something that we get to experience a lot with video games, that we do get to experience in this wonderful, wonderful hobby that we've both found ourselves in.
Yeah, the video game, if you make a dramatic choice, it reacts in a superficial way. But whenever you make a dramatic choice with your friends, acquaintances, whatever, they're at least like, and they're probably texting you about it like a couple days later, like, I can't believe you did that. And it's just, it makes such a profound impact on everyone, and it's so organic, and just I love it. I love that shit. I
live for that shit.
I feed off of it. I'm just like, no. I eat that energy.
So great. But yeah, I think that's all that we really need to talk about. do we have any special challenges for the weeks ahead?
Apparently, learn the alphabet in ASL.
Yeah, we should revisit that. If you do ASL, tweet at us or like, comment, and subscribe.
Don't let us forget. Just
tell us what like phrases do you want us to like know in ASL that are useful in daily conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we challenged ourselves any other way. We just gushed.
Do shit in D&D.
Oh, my challenge for you is to actually lean into the halfling/gnome.
Yeah, because I really haven't done that. I played Luna, but they were more tied to their deity than their race.
Yeah,
I don't think their race abilities ever showed up during that game.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. So you ever get pulled into another one shot or whatever, just go whole hog with it. Just lean into that beautiful, happy, small person.
Happy. Let me put that in giant air quotes. Because we know I don't like playing happy characters.
No.
I'm a very happy person in real life. Let me explore something different in my role playing games.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you want to explore yourself in a role playing game, that's great. I prefer leaning into something a bit different. But for you, my challenge for you is to lean into using those cantrips with your warlock. We've got a session tomorrow where y'all are going to be going into a little mini dungeon that I have certainly prepped.
Well, I could
and did not just like read and listen to another person run it and called it a day.
Oh man, quick aside.
I fucking hate running dungeons. I hate prepping dungeons. I hate running dungeons. I do not like dungeons as a dungeon master.
Oh, I know you do. Connor just hates that battle heavy prep. But my aside was, I feel so bad because I see so many of my friends and acquaintances involved in the tabletop community getting involved in like these Waterdeep Dragon Heist streams, and I don't want to watch them because I don't want to spoil it for myself. But just please know that I support you in spirit, but because I'm playing in a campaign, I don't want to spoil those story details for myself, but I want to support you, so I'm very conflicted. Anyways.
Well, yeah, well, I feel like after this first episode, or this first chapter, y'all's group is going to be doing things a lot different from any other group that is not playing in summer.
Yeah. Okay.
I named it Summer in Amon for a reason, because I am using the summer villains from that campaign.
Okay.
But every other villain has been reskinned and redone.
Nice.
Because I don't think the Xanathar has a real place in Amon. You can certainly put him in your own game. I wanted to make something that was a bit more, that meshes a little bit more
beautiful
with the established lore. So if you want more details on that, eventually I'll be posting my notes on Discord in a subscriber only room or something. I don't know. Like, comment, and subscribe. But on my Twitch channel, to get some juicy deets on that in about like 2 months, whenever we finish up with this game.
But yeah, what I was gonna say is my only cantrips are Eldritch Blast and Minor Illusion, which I very heavily lean into Eldritch Blast because it's very hard to, I think, build a good Warlock build without Eldritch Blast.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a doable challenge for me.
Yeah. And then my challenge was what?
if you get a chance, which I know with your
lean
schedule,
heavier into
yeah,
gnome or halfling.
yeah, which I don't know if you'll get the chance to based off your schedule, but if you get a chance, go ham on it, you know?
I will.
Be Bilbo Baggins, be Samwise Gamgee, whatever
I
you
will
want to be.
certainly try.
Yeah.
So, Kylen, this has been a wonderful talk. I'm so glad that we take a few hours every week to get drunk and talk to each other because we are so far away from each other
Oh,
in real life, and
bitch.
I miss you so much.
Oh, I miss you too.
Oh, where can we find you on the internet?
Well, if you found me here, you probably know all the best places to find me.
You
But
probably do.
if for whatever reason you stumbled upon this by happenstance, the best place to find me is on Twitter. I'm most active on Twitter at KyleWithAnN, where I tweet about D&D, Critical Role. Love to live tweet that shit on Thursdays. Whatever tabletop games, whatever memey nonsense I got going on in my life. Find me here, obviously. So far, I'm involved with the game on ProStar's channel, Dragon Knights, Saturdays, 1:30 EST, and, well, I don't know if I can announce this yet, but I'm going to announce it anyway.
Do it.
I'm going to start playing on his channel again Wednesdays. I forget the time. I think it's around 4 EST. I'm going to be playing a zombie game.
Yes. Yes.
So you could see me there playing an entirely different system in which I don't play a character, I play myself.
That's so cool.
If you like me, or if
This
you
is the
don't
first
like
time I'm
me,
hearing about this, by the way.
yeah, true. Yeah, I've been holding on to that one. So if you like me, or if you don't like me and want to see me die, you should definitely tune in and see whether or not I become a zombie or whatever else happens. I'm not familiar with the system. I'm excited to get to play. So would love to see you tune in. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I'm raising my eyebrows a lot.
What about you, Connor? What are you up to?
So I am up to playing more lore-based video games, or games with lore that I dig way too deeply into. We have just finished, right before we started recording this, my Twilight Princess Zelda series.
Oh shit, what are you gonna play next?
I don't know.
DVD.
It's about to be October, so probably some spooky games. I don't know. I only know I have only played and delved into lore of one spooky game, and that is Slender. And I've already played that on the channel.
True.
So we will see what people want me to play. Probably just Overwatch.
Oh, bitch.
If we do the entire month of October just playing Overwatch October, then I will be happy. If you and Silent Band are, cool with that. But we will probably play other games at some point. I don't know. I really don't. That's like with my Tuesday games right now. I don't know what I'm playing. I don't know if I'm playing most of the time. I don't know. But if you are here, you have already found my YouTube channel. Congratulations.
Woo!
Via a link in my YouTube channel, you can find my Twitch channel. It is twitch.tv/Cybrwulf1201. There you can find me play video games badly and talk about lore. On Monday nights, right now, you can find me on twitch.tv/indoor_adventurer, where I play Blake, the Dragonborn Blood Hunter, who has a Pact of the Dragon dad. I am watching Kylen hold backs, and it is adorable, and I love them.
You have to comment on everything.
I really do, though, because they don't get to see all this, but I do. on Saturdays, you can find me and Kylen play in a Pro Restarter game, 5th edition. We're going to be starting season 2 pretty soon, maybe. I don't know. Are you joining for season 2?
We'll see.
We will see. I said yes. I don't know how. I don't know how much I'm going to hold myself to that. I don't know. I want to, if we get very involved with season 2, I want to play a very darker character than what I did this past time. Isabel the Sugar Princess was great. Let me do something different.
Yeah.
But yeah. Open for adventure. Follow them. They're great. They're doing stuff. They're doing stuff that I help with sometimes behind the scenes. That's everything that I have to plug. I have a Discord. You should join my Discord. You can find that from my Twitch channel. If you subscribe to my Twitch channel, you get access to subscriber-only Discord channel things.
Come meme on the Discord.
Come throw your dank memes up in here, because we are dank memers and shit posters.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I think we've talked about it enough.
Oh shit. Has it been talked about?
It's been talked about. We talked about it.
We talked about it.
We really did talk about
We
it.
had little to no parkour this episode.
Ah, shit, we didn't parkour. Quick, do some parkour.
Oh god. Oh, I did a triple backflip.
I did a Wolf Whataburger McTwist with
That's real.
some mac sauce. Fuck.
That's definitely a real thing.
That's a real thing. I did the paint me like one of your French girls, and a side crow vinyasa. Yeah. Bye.
Okay, bye, thoughties.
Bye.
See you next time.
See y'all later.